Hey everyone, it's Keith. Welcome back to the channel. Or if it's your first time here, hello. Well, it finally happened. I'll be honest, I never thought we'd see the day. The Snyder Cut of Justice League is here. And as surprised as I am about that, I'm even more shocked at how much I enjoyed it. But I don't recommend you watch it for one very big reason. When the original version of Justice League came out in 2017, I gave it a 5 out of 10, meaning average, middle of the road. And while I don't do review scores anymore, I do stick by that sentiment to this day. Justice League 2017 is the most milquetoast, cookie-cutter superhero film since, oddly enough, the previous Joss Whedon directed film in the genre, 2015's Avengers: Age of Ultron. Justice League 2017 is a movie made by a committee, which is nothing new, by the way, or even necessarily bad. For comparison, the Marvel movies are exactly the same, they're just better at hiding the seams. And they're just better, usually. For those not in the know, Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice director Zack Snyder left Justice League in 2017 after a family tragedy. By that point, the film was in post-production, and it was finished by Avengers writer-director Joss Whedon after extensive reshoots, a simplified story, and a studio-mandated runtime of under 2 hours. The resulting movie was lackluster, both in reception from audiences and critics, as well as in box office returns. In the 3 years since the film's original release, an internet community rose up, often fueled by toxicity and what they saw as an injustice having been done to Snyder and his established movie universe. They wanted one thing, for Snyder's version of the film to be released. They saw the 2017 version as a slap in the face of the man that had gave them such cinematic masterpieces like Watchmen, Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, and Sucker Punch. And yeah, the way Snyder's removal from the film in the midst of a family tragedy, only for the movie to be thrown together without much care for the universe he had established, was pretty disrespectful. But calm down, guys. Zack Snyder's Justice League, that's the official title, is the antithesis of the 2017 version in every way. For the most part, these changes are for the better. The film now has a consistent tone instead of being sprinkled with jokes in the middle of all the brooding. But even if you hated the Joss Whedon humor of the 2017 version, good news, that's all been removed, but in its place is just another flavor of bad comedy, mostly still in the form of the Flash character, who's not only the fastest man alive, he's also the most neurotic. If they ever do make a sequel to this, it should have a scene with Flash and Lex Luthor stammering at each other for 8 minutes. Snyder's cut looks so much better than the 2017 version. 2017 took Snyder's footage and cranked up the saturation and the brightness, and it looked like a television drama. It was bad. Where Justice League 2017 is simplified, streamlined to get people in and out like a theme park ride, Snyder's is packed to the gills. Overindulgence has always been Snyder's default setting, and Justice League is undoubtedly the biggest example of that. Every scene is given time to breathe. Too much time. They all feel so long. Every moment feels long, thanks to there not being a need for a digestible runtime as the movie is debuting on HBO Max. And of course, there's also Snyder's signature overuse of slow motion. An analysis by IGN shows that more than 10%, 24 minutes of the film is in slow motion. Trust me, it gets old. I've always had a personal set of rules for a movie's length. If your movie's over 2 hours, it better be good. Over 2.5, and it better be great. And if it's over 3, you fucked up. What I mean by that is you should respect your audience's time. Snyder's Justice League is 4 hours long. At that point, even saying he fucked up feels too kind. That's him not respecting your time whatsoever. Now, when this film was initially announced, it is going to be broken up into a multi-part series, which would have alleviated this problem. But ultimately, I might have even forgiven the length if everything in the film felt essential, and boy is that not the case. There are multiple scenes that could have been removed whole cloth. Wonder Woman's first action scene in a bank or government building, it doesn't matter. And the Flash's job hunting / saving a girl from a car accident scene, which has nothing to do with the plot. him as a character, and doesn't even help establish his origin for the Flash solo movie that's never going to happen. I mean, the Flashpoint movie that's never going to happen. No, wait, the Flash and Cyborg movie that's never going to happen. Then there are the so-called nightmare scenes. Batman's prophetic dreams of an apocalyptic future. God, it's hard for me to overlook how much Zack Snyder doesn't understand Batman. Those are just some examples. But in addition to that, every other scene could have been trimmed down at least a little. Now, if you are ride or die for Snyder's version of this universe, you'll be happy to know that tonally his Justice League is in line with Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. I think that movie is kind of a mess. It doesn't understand or even like its main characters, and Justice League is a step in the right direction on that front. And there are character arcs here, specifically for Ray Fisher's Cyborg, and well, kind of just Cyborg. Batman and Wonder Woman, who you might expect to be main characters, have no arc and are mostly just along for the ride. But Cyborg's story is so intertwined with the MacGuffins of the film, 3 cubes of sci-fi nonsense called mother boxes, a term that will be said a lot over the film's 4-hour runtime, by the way. Because of that, he helps carry the plot along in a way that was all but stripped out of the 2017 version. The other character that benefits the most in Snyder's cut is the villain, Steppenwolf, who goes from very generic in the theatrical cut to having actual motivations, like a character. That having been said, it would have been hard for this movie to not have more character development, as it is twice as long, so I don't know how much of a compliment that is. There will inevitably be fan edits of Justice League that combine the best elements of both cuts, but I'd be more interested in a condensed version of Snyder's. And it'd be easy to pare it down. This feels like an assembly cut, where literally every scene is present regardless of if they're needed. In some alternate reality, where none of that bad shit happened in 2017, and Snyder was able to finish his 2.5 or 3-hour version for the initial release, I think it would have been the best version of Justice League possible. Because instead, now there are 2 versions of this film that I have trouble recommending. Good job, Internet?